I am Mark Lauritsen. I'm the head of the UFCW's Food Processing and Meatpacking Division. As President Perone stated, here we are 100 days into this coronavirus crisis that's gripped our country. And the threat to the food processing and meatpacking workers across the country continues to be very, very real. Since the beginning of this pandemic, we have seen a health crisis that's been fueled by mistakes by state and federal government leaders who simply did not take and prioritize America's meatpacking and food processing workers. 100 days in, and agencies like OSHA and USDA, they still continue to ignore the very real health and safety risks inside these plants. And given the failure of our government to respond uniformly, now we're witnessing this erratic system of safety standards across the country. In the best cases, because of work that our union has done, companies like Cargill and Danone have adopted specific safety improvements that have helped inside of our plants. Among those safety standards our unions pushed for and compelled our employers to adopt are better sanitation, clear social distancing, mandatory masks, improved PPE for all workers, as well as physical barriers inside the plants. And while these are important changes, it's simply not enough when we're witnessing a virus that is not diminishing, but is growing in many states where these plants are located. 100 days in, and we're still working to get our federal and state government and local leaders to mandate safety changes inside these workplaces. And for those who think that this healthcare crisis has passed, it is relatively clear that it is not. We're witnessing outbreaks in northern Utah, northwest Arkansas, and these are areas that were not of concern a month ago. We're deeply concerned about the rise in public cases we're seeing in Texas, Arizona, and other states. And going forward, we must protect these workers' lives and protect our food supply that millions of Americans are relying on. And based on everything that we've seen and heard from our members, as well as non-union workers, it's clear that we have to take the following actions. One, we have to adopt real oversight from government agencies enforcing mandates instead of unenforceable suggestions. Two, we have to ensure that every facility has rapid testing for daily testing for the coronavirus. Three, we have to have access to the highest levels of PPE for all these workers in this industry. Four, we need to reduce the line speeds so that workers can respect the social distancing that needs to be enforced inside these plants. And finally, the need to ensure that we're protecting workers and not protecting the giant food companies from liability. All of these recommendations are about the need to protect lives, because the truth is, too many lives have already tragically been lost. And this isn't just rhetoric. This is a very real situation for our members. In fact, just in meatpacking and food processing, 93 of our members have already died. 4,978 have been diagnosed or awaiting results or are symptomatic, and that's just in the meatpacking side of our industries. As Mark had mentioned, this does not paint a full picture of the human cost because non-union employers are still not releasing the full human cost of this pandemic. Given this crisis, the time is long past for leaders to take immediate action and protect the very workers that have helped this nation weather this historic crisis. The status quo is simply no longer acceptable, and we need real change to start now. And this is about making sure we provide these essential workers with those essential protections that they truly deserve. Thank you very much.